tell them what we're playing? All right. We are going to perform for you an operatic medley from Il Trovatore. It includes many of the themes from the opera and also the famous Anvil Chorus. This is the Trovatore Quickstep.
Without the anvil.
Without the anvil, yes. The anvil-less chorus.
Cavalry took the anvil away from us.
Yeah. We don't let these guys near an anvil. Okay.
1, 2, 2, and.
Company, halt! Sir, Company A reporting his order. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the 2nd United States Cavalry Company A, ably led today by the Troop Sergeant, Barry Cruz. Remember what I said about letting people know? Horses are going with getting tricks. They'll demonstrate today what I have mentioned before, the tactics, the drill, and the weapons of the Civil War cavalrymen. Sergeant Cruz, carry on. Sir. Right, to left, hard. Remember I mentioned traveling formation. This is the basic initial one. Column of 1 through 5. This is the form in really rough terrain, say like Old Virginia, North Carolina, parts of Kentucky. Also notice that it's highly vulnerable. The trooper can only defend himself off to the right side. He can't shoot forward with guard, he can't shoot back, and he has a limited ability to shoot off to one side, the left side. Yes, by the way, while there were left-handers in the outfit, Dathan Bedford Forrest was one who was left-handed. He, along with everybody else, used the weapons right-handed. We told them differently. I don't wish to be rude by turning my back to you, but we can't get the horses to read the script. We can't get them. So I have to look to see what's going on next. What should be happening back there is they will be moving into column of 2. What the sergeant will call is the maneuver he wants made, but he doesn't change his gait. What you heard is column of 2 trot. That means I'm going to stay here. You catch up with me.
Right about!
Right about means we're going to do a 180-degree turn. There's no question on it. Please note, this is not just horses wandering in a circle. The idea is to take and plant your horse's feet where the turn is of the horse in front of you. That could be very critical in a restricted path. And remember, the Confederates late in the war came up with landmines. Perfect view of the cavalry. They will come back this direction and do a maneuver, or they should do a maneuver that's referred to as an oblique. Oblique is a 22.5-degree saunter to one side. Essentially, if you have an obstacle, rather than do 3 90-degree turns and get back to where you're going, they're going to just move off to one side and then come back to one side once they've gone past it. It's not a real easy thing to do, and one of the ways we do it is you stick your knee in the other guy's knee
Forward!
to make sure he's going in the right direction.
Right! Turn!
Right turn, that means we're going to go this direction and then I say forward. Yes, occasionally people will go. Keep it a little closer. My daughter will also be out here normally in her hoop skirt. She has been stepped on before. Hoop skirts, though. Okay, now they should form the normal traveling formation was column of 4s. This is typical. The infantry would count off by 2s. 1, 2, 1, 2. The cavalry counts off by 4s. We have to know higher math. Therefore, cavalry is obviously more intelligent. The reason for that you'll see when we demonstrate the dismounted skirmish. The 4th man would be your horse holder. Normally someone with hair my color, who actually has some experience with horses. She can hold 3 restive horses that are listening to bullets whistle by their ears. While the other guys get down to one line and fight. Well, we have 7 horses out there today. Try to think. Something's about 100 men. Imagine larger. Even today, when we would come charging directly towards you, the ground would move. When you have several hundreds, it's like an earthquake happening, the ground will roll underneath you. 1,000 hounds, of course, pounding the ground, coming your way. Those who weren't here earlier, note the yellow stripes on the folks and the yellow stripes on my shoulder straps. That was cavalry. Infantry was light blue. Artillery was red. Medical Corps was green. Not sure why. They were. And these are not, by the way, dress uniforms. We're not out here to impress people with our pretty uniforms today. This was the field kit. You usually got issued 2 per year. It's supposed to last you that amount of time. The problem was not as it is now camouflage. The problem was recognize your friend and don't shoot him. Okay, something we do, and it's a little hard to see with the column of 4s, the most difficult maneuver we do out there is called a wheel. It's essentially taking the outfit and moving it so that you keep people headed the same direction, but swing like a barn door. The guy on the inside, the pivot man, can go from a full gallop to backing his horse up and making it march in place that fast. I've done that. That's what horses do for me. When they do those and that looks good, let them know, please. Once again, horses going. Yep, they wheel. That actually looks pretty good. We're setting up for a mounted skirmish demonstration. We're not allowed to shoot from the horseback, so pretend. There are two commands for draw. One is draw saber, the other is draw pistol. What you're looking for is out the side of your eye to see what the guy down the road is going to do. He does this, he does this. Notice that they'll set up, and as they stand, the horse will be face on to the enemy. That's to make a smaller target, but when they go to shoot, they'll actually move the horse off to one side, as to avoid shooting over the horse's ears. Horse's ears are very sensitive. There's a quick way to become part of the airborne if you shoot over his ears. They are anticipating the shot, by the way. Horses are not stupid. Wait! What happened? Other places we would shoot. This is a rolling advance. If we had more folks, you would probably see one line back behind, the other line moving forward, and leapfrog or step across. This is where the guidon would have been very important. What you would have seen is one horseman back there with the banner, and that is where they would be reforming. Unfortunately, we don't have that signaling device here.
Reform company!
Officers and non-commissioned officers were graded on how fast they could go from one formation to the other. Because when you're in between, you are totally vulnerable. We're going to do a dismounted skirmish next, a demonstration of the cavalry carbine, the primary weapon. This will be allowed. We do shoot. Remember what I said about the fourth person being a horse holder? They'll hold the three horses. Okay, any minute now.
Any minute.
Criticism yesterday is we didn't do it close enough, so reposition. There we go. Notice the horses will be moved in sort of a checkerboard formation. That's so you don't get down and right next to a horse's back hoof. Could be bad. Horses, because they have their eyes mounted on the sides of their heads, they are prey animals. They will sometimes think it is more judicious to kick first and ask questions later. This is why we ask you, please, when you come visit us in the camp, hold on to your little kids. Something very small heading fast for a horse's rear end, that could be anything, like a fox, a coyote, or a wolf. The horse holders will take the horses that they're holding for the troops and move back so the horses will be out of range of the enemy gunfire or artillery or both. You notice the trooper on the ground. They're linking up horses, one to each, and then handing a strap to the trooper who's up in the saddle still to make control. And it's not always easy. They don't always control each other. At that time, horses were very, very used to being with each other, set into the outfits. They drilled, they lived, they ate together. And in fact, when they go to war and you take casualties, oftentimes, when a trooper was shot out of the saddle or didn't remount, the horse would still get in the formation and ride with the rest of the outfit, because that's what it was used to. And it would react to bugle calls, because it understood those too. Notice the sergeant is controlling the rate. It is a little loud, I warned you. The rate of fire, the direction of fire, and what sequence you fire in. Volley fire is all at once. Fire at will means fire as fast as you can at whatever you can see. That's what you often hear is independent fire, fire at will. Poor Will, we never found him. He also controls the movement of the guys on the ground, whereas the senior guy at the rear controls the movement of the horse holders. Normally, the guidon would be back there with the horse holders, because that's where you're going to rally to. Excuse me. We love to talk about the speed of reloading an A-sharp's carbine. Okay, those are guys who did it on a daily basis. Some of these reproductions don't work quite as well as the issue weapons at the time. Do notice that the troopers are also carrying their swords. Confederates normally would not. They leave the swords strapped to their saddle, and after the Civil War, the Federal Army adopted that position in strapping the swords to the saddle. Every day. It's tough to dance with one of these. Since you asked that, please notice next time you're watching Hollywood and they're walking around dragging a sword. It was not the procedure. The procedure was to hook it up. That's what that little brass hook is for. So that it can form to your leg. And you could walk easier without dragging it on the ground. Does it work? No, you still get tangled up. For those of you who know about Harper's Ferry, that Jeb Stuart was actually there in the Federal Army and wound up in controlling the Marines that took Harper's Ferry. The reason he was in Washington was to come up and patent a better design for this. And he did. It worked. It would be used later on by the federal government.
Are they firing live? Those live rounds?
Say again?
Are those live rounds?
Those are blanks. We're not allow us to throw lead down range.
I know.
So those are some of the standard questions. Is that a real weapon? Yes, it is. Is that a real horse? Oh, come on. Of course it's a real horse. The other one is, who pays you to do this? For volunteers, folks. So are the horses. Well, they're draftees.
Then I got a choice.
There was a fellow by the name of McClellan who was a general during the Civil War. Prior to the Civil War, he was Captain McClellan. He was sent to the Crimea to watch and be an observer for the British and the Russians fight. He's the one who came back and designed and sold to the government the saddle you see on the Actually, he stole the design. It's supposed to be Hussar, Polish Hussar and Russian Hussar. It was a Texan's design. He stole it, but that's the way you get past it. Okay, retire. What you may have heard was horses up. That means horse holders bring the horses forward, probably into the danger zone. Notice that the horseman that is up will stay up. He may draw his weapon, just in case they've stirred up a hornet's nest at the other end. It's going to come roaring your direction. Oftentimes they would actually keep a line back behind there with pistols drawn or sabers drawn, just in time anybody can cross the field. But this is the mobility of the cavalry. For some reason, the captain's decided either to move back or move elsewhere, and he wants to do it quickly. Note that the horse holders stay with the horses until the trooper is up in the saddle. Two things, protection and to help out. There are regulations and procedures when you have a jammed weapon for the National Park Service, and that's what they're addressing right now. The gentleman out there in the first artillery stripes is the local ranger, Aaron Firth. The fellow with the carbine is our armorer. Once again, this was done speedily during the Civil War, a little less so now because, once again, most of the people out there have hair my color. Bones don't work quite so well. Okay. Now we will set up for a couple of demonstrations of the cavalry charge. It was not an obsolete attack at that time, if done correctly, but it was self-defeating because once you hit them, you broke up. Let me show you something with the saber because there will be questions on this. When they come to charge, the blade will come down on what's called engineer's point. It's a French word for saying put the point down and the edge up. Why? Well, it's just point to joint. Is this the right way? No, because if you hit somebody with that, what immediately happens? You never broke your arm. If you do this, and this is physics, and yes, I usually give people to do, but pay attention. The idea is you're looking to hit the guy right at the hollow of his throat. And when you do that curve, and you're in the distance horse, you're going to run it down through his body. And then you roll it and pull it out. Expecting the high school bugle call. That's the 13 notes. One note, play 13 notes. Troop will set up and come back. And then in skirmish order, take questions from you. When we're done asking the questions, we are camped back up the road towards the old officers club. Come on down, take a look at the camp, see the horses. Yeah. Remember what I said, keep control of the kids.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Notice that the front rank has the sword into his point, the middle rank has to point it up. Because if you shoot the front rank and he goes down, you really don't want to play this way. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Cavalry. Order and take questions from the crowd. Please, once you're done asking questions, join us in the camp. Thank you for joining us at Fort Monroe.
From the left to right, beat the crowd.
Who's that?
I love these folks.
That's awesome.
I bought it.
Turn around his way.
Are y'all local to Hampton Roads?
Pretty good narration.
No, we actually come, well, there's a couple of us that are local, but we come from all over the place. I'm from Southern West Virginia, and so is our commander and his son. But some of us are from Pennsylvania, Maryland, and some of us are from the Yorktown area. It's just a plane, just a plane.
saw Will down there. He jumped.
None of the cannoneers know how to do all of it. So, but as soon as the whole crew are well trained, one shot of benefit, and two should be getting
So two of them.
would probably be top this fast.
Cutters,
Because
press.
there's always stuff that they can do.
Ram, cartridge. Return, rammer.
One thing that was common during the war for new recruits is they would get nervous and get rammer
Prime.
back. And they'd find something that was weird looking friendly to you. If they ever found it.
Shoulder, arm. Fire my company. Company ready. Aim. Fire. Whoa.
That's what's known as a volley. You have to use your imagination. So even though the tactics are evolving, they're already recognizing the firing of these muskets, the best gun in Henry. You notice they're still standing shoulder to shoulder. That's as described as tactics. Tactics were written when rifled muskets were only a theory, and it took years for it to change. The Civil War was quite a learning curve, but these were written into what? As an example of style, a line of battle can be charging a fixed position, is shown at Gettysburg, Pickett charge, front loose charge in Franklin, Tennessee. Massive casualties by the attacking force. But as time goes on, these forces settle on